Hey guys, welcome to the beginning of a new crafty week. Um, so I ended the last vlog on Friday the 13th saying that I was going to take a break from crocheting because my hand was hurting. So I wasn't going to crochet for all of Saturday. Well, I didn't. I also did not crochet on Sunday. But today, which is today, the 15th. But I did craft, and I wanted to show you. I did make 2 more book sleeves. So I made these fun. I dug up some fall prints that I had gotten. I know I got this on clearance at Joann's. So it's just little pumpkins. And the inside is a, kind of a white on white print. Very simple, very easy. So that's one book sleeve. And I will grab that same Abby Jimenez book just to show you how it fits. So fits nicely. You could put a pen in. You could put tabs for annotation. Hold on, let me show you. So like if you want to mark things in the book that you want to remember or that you want to share, if you're in a book club, this is a good idea. And that way you remember your thoughts. You could put a little pocket on the inside. I might experiment with making a pocket, but this is all done. I did box the bottom. I like the bottoms to be boxed a little bit, and it's not that hard to do. And so there's one. And then I made another one. Fall print. And on the inside of this is, I think I got this in downtown LA, but it is just watches on this print. And I found some scraps of that left over, and I was able to create that. And then I'll take that same Abby Jimenez book. Y'all hear Bella in the background. And see how nicely it fits. And I'm using the same technique. 8.5 by 11 is how I start. These are both lined with that felt to give it some body. And then you're all set. Book and tabs, and you can throw a pen in, and you're ready to go. So these, I believe, are going to be the prizes for that giveaway I mentioned to you that we're going to be doing on Steve's channel. Now, we did not announce it today because I did not. That video will be available by the time you see this. It would already have been uploaded, but I did not make these in time to share these as prizes. Or at least one of them is going to be a prize. So next episode, so in a couple of weeks, like a week from when you guys see this one, the next episode of the Stephen Thompson Experience, Thompson's Reading, will go up, and that's when we'll talk about the giveaway for 100 subscribers. So go on over there and subscribe so you'll know. And then when I was looking for the scrap fabrics, I don't know if you can see, well, I hid it a little bit, but behind Chimmy, there's a whole bunch of fabrics that are just left over from other projects. And I found that I had cut an entire bag and the lining. It was already interfaced, and so I just went ahead and sewed that up. It's not the best job I've ever done, but it will work. So there you go. There is... I haven't sewn a bag in I don't know how long, so I'm happy to have this one done, and I hope that it is it's kind of in time for what we're gonna do. We have a woman of color running for President of the United States, guys. If we pull this off, it will absolutely be historical. And these adjectives describe her and us for doing it. All right, I'm not trying to get political. I'm just saying it will be groundbreaking if we make it happen. Anyway, that's it. You know where I stand on the matter. Anyway, that's it. That's all. I'm not even trying to get political on this channel, but I just thought fierce, smart, brave, strong, fun, happy. You try running for the president of these United States. Even if you're a white man, you have to be all of this. But if you're a woman of color, to the nth degree, you need to be all of this. All right, that's it. That's all I got to say. I will see you in the next clip. Bye. Hey, everybody. This is the continuation of this crafty week. And I am just popping in. I have not had a great week as far as making my amigurumis. At this point, I still need to make, I think, 10 before October 5th was the goal. But I know I'm going to pick some super easy things. So I already know at least 2 patterns that I'm going to do that I should be able to work out pretty quickly. But I came across a new idea. But in the process, I'll tell you some other things that I've been working on, because I've been crocheting. And I also started knitting a project. So I wanted to make a book sleeve with cotton. And so I had one of these rolls of cotton. And actually, I don't think I'm going to show you this project because I think it's going to end up being in my seasonal yarn YouTube hop. So that's a sneak peek. That cotton is one of the cotton cones from Hirschner's, and it's in the colorway Moroccan. Remember that colorway. It's going to come back again real soon. But I wanted to tell you about an idea that I came across. So I was watching, actually even before I was watching Tony from TL Yarn Crafts, she just did like a video on updating her temperature blanket, and she was talking about how she's been making temperature blankets, I think every year for the last, I don't know how many years, but it's been, she makes one every year. She really enjoys it. And in the process of talking about it, she was saying, you know, some people are just not into doing the temperatures, but there's other things you can track. So she mentioned mood blankets, for instance, where you assign certain colors to your moods and you track your moods. And some people, she was saying, I think that they even, or somebody was saying, that people even journal along with that if they're doing a mood blanket, if that's something that they want to track. Which I think is valuable. Like, as I'm thinking about it, I'm thinking my mood doesn't fluctuate that much, but it really actually does. And it would be good to see what those triggers are. But no, I don't want to make a mood blanket. I don't want to make a temperature blanket at all. Because I can't even imagine. I live in SoCal. The variation is not that great. And so, you know, I think people in the Midwest might have the best chance of a really wildly varied temperature blanket. I mean, I grew up in Chicago, and you know, it could be, you know, you could need your parka in May, you know, so you just don't know what kind of surprises you could get. And plus, you know, I don't know, this global warming thing might also be changing things, because I remember talking to my mother this summer about how the summer has been so not normal. You know, the hot type of weather, the hot muggy weather, it didn't get as hot as we normally do in Chicago. And so these are all definitely the result of, you know, things are changing. The climate is changing. So let's talk about, we won't talk about global warming, but we will talk about climate change. And so so that could mean it's hotter than usual, but it could also mean that it's not as the same as it was. But anyway, so temperature blankets just are not for me. Mood blankets, there were, what else did she talk about? Sports teams. You could track a sports team if you're like a super fan. You could do scores or whatever. And she just, excuse me. Sorry, guys. She just named like 3 or 4 different ways you could do this same idea. And it just so happened that I was already thinking about this, because somehow in my feed on YouTube, I got a suggested video from a girl who was making a genre blanket. Now, you guys know that I've been reading like crazy this year. And so, like way more, like my Goodreads, like I read probably about 8 books last year. I mean, I'm already at book number 40. And I've read 49 books. My goal on Goodreads was to read 52 for the year. So that's a book a week. Now, I include my audiobooks, and I think it's about half and half. Hold on one second. Hold on. All right, so the girl was making a genre blanket. So what she was doing is she would assign one girl who I found. The first girl I found, hers was just straight. She would assign a color to a genre, and she would put a certain number of rows in her blanket for each book she read in that genre. And I was like, oh, what a great idea. But I'm thinking, I don't know how many different genres I really read. And maybe since I'm still kind of reading all kinds of things, I don't know. I was still trying to figure out how I could do it. And then another girl, what she did was she had a color assigned to each genre, but the stitch that she used in the blanket was based on the star rating she gave. So she had a 3, she would rate her books from 1 to 3, I think, or something like that, whatever it was. So if it was a 3, it got a puff stitch. If it was a 2, it got a double crochet. If it was a 1, it got a single crochet row. And so I was thinking, oh, that's a good idea. And I was also thinking about if I did genres, it could be the number of rows of that color that would go into the blanket could be based on the star rating. So I was thinking all of these things, and but I finally came across one that appealed to me the most. And that is one where there are 2 different women who I came across, 2 different content creators. One is mostly on Instagram, and one is on YouTube. And they just called it a book blanket. Instead of a genre blanket, they called it a book blanket. And this girl decided what she would do is make a granny square based on the colors in the cover of her book. And I was like, that's one I can actually do. And so basically you would normally just start in January, just like a temperature blanket. But you know how some people decide, say for instance, if they have a kid going off to college, they will go back and look at the temperatures from when the year the child was born, and use that to make their temperature blanket instead of that current year. I'm gonna kind of do something like that, because I just found out about this. It's the end of September practically, and so I've read 49 books already. So if I had started, I would have 49 granny squares already. However, since I just figured this out, I'm still gonna do a book blanket for 2024. I'm just gonna base it on what I've done all year. So, but I know right now I would be I have 49 squares to make, and then whatever I do from here on out will also be added to that. So I did the first 2, and the thing about this is that the granny square situation is easy, guys. It's a 5 round granny square, and I think that it would even be easy for me to catch up. I am not pressuring myself to actually do this all by the end of the year. Since I'm off anyway, I will finish it when I finish it, but I'm just excited to get started. So I'm gonna show you here in a second. I have to go get my phone so I can tell you the name of the first two books that I finished in 2024. I have made their granny square. So hold on one second. Okay, so I am pulling out my Goodreads so you guys can see. So the first two books, the first book that I completed this year was an audiobook, and it is called The Things You Can See Only When You Slow Down, How to Be Calm in a Busy World. And this is actually a book that was written originally in Korean by a Korean monk. And but it was fantastic. I actually listened to this book probably 4 times. That's how good it was, and it's not that long. But let me see if I can show you what the cover looks like on the audiobook. So here's what the cover looks like. So the mostly greens, white, and yellow. Those are the colors. Now, I didn't match the green exactly. Oh, and I decided that the final round on each one of my squares. So basically, I'm going to choose 3 colors off the, I'm going to do my best to choose 3 colors off the book cover and do a 5-round granny square. Really trying to do the dominant color in 2 of those rounds. That's my goal. But I decided that this would be the border of every one of mine, and that because I have 1 ball of this, plenty, and to in the end make a border all the way around it. It's going to be great. So this is Lion Brand Pound of Love in the colorway Cherry, and it's got a bazillion yards in it, worsted weight acrylic yarn. So that is the final round on every one. So I didn't match the greens exactly, but I still, this is what it was inspired by. So you see I have green and a creamy white and a yellow with a cranberry. So that's the first one. Second book I made, second book I finished this year. Another self-help. I was on a self-help thing at the beginning of the year. How to Own Your Own Mind by Napoleon Hill. Another audio book, actually. And here's how that one looks. So basically what you're seeing is a bunch of white, black, you got a little bit of the red, and you got the tiniest bit of gray on there. So here's the square for that book cover. So in the end, doing a book blanket like this, what you're going to end up with is a very scrappy blanket. All everything unified by that cherry colorway. That's going to be the border on every one. I don't know how I'm going to join them. At first I was like, oh, I could just make a certain amount and then start joining them. But I heard this other girl say it too. It's like, you have no idea how many books you are actually going to read. I'm close to knowing, but I could decide that at 52 I'm going to stop. But that doesn't divide right by anything for me to be able to make an actual blanket out of it. So I know I'm just going to keep going through the end of the year, and how many squares I have then, and at that point we will decide how we're going to join them. But yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm so excited to do this. It's marrying 2 of my worlds, my booktube life and my crochet life, and therefore that's like chef's kiss wonderful. So I'm excited to keep this up. The next square up, let me see what colors I'm going to get to choose from. That's a good thing about doing Goodreads, right? Because it's all here. Everything that I have done is right here. And oh, this was my book of the year. Actually, I think this is my only true 5-star read for 2024. And that is The Covenant of Water by Abraham Verghese. And would you look at the colors I get to choose from? That's going to be a super pretty square. Anyway, that's it. That's all for this clip. I will see you in the next one. Everybody, all right, we're going to continue this vlog and what I'm doing right now. Okay, so my amigurumi goal, I'm probably not going to make it because today is actually September 27th. I haven't made a BTS project yet for the month of September, so I'm probably going to either be late or I'm going to pull something off at the last minute. You know, I messed up my glass is a little bit, tell you, not quite sitting right on my face. Whatever. Okay. Anyway, it's Friday night. I started this vlog, I believe, on September 15th. So it's been a while. And that's because a couple other things have been going on. We, on the first day of, fall, we revealed our fall projects. I will link the playlist in the description box below so you guys can see that. So we released that video. And in addition to that, I started a knitting project, which is actually being held in the bag I showed you guys at the beginning that I made. And yeah, so it's in here. And I am vlogging. I'm doing a project vlog just for this project because it's something new and different for me to really be trying to do. So it's in this bag. So that I've been working on, and I've been filming that. I have not actually. Here comes Bella, guys. Let me hold on. So she's something else. This dog, she actually knows how to, she participates in a lot of subterfuge where she'll act like she's going to be nice and sweet. See? She's acting like she's going to be nice and sweet. She got up here with a bone in her mouth, but her whole purpose, she had this pen in her mouth earlier. And she knew where the pen was at. So her whole purpose was to get up on this couch so she can go back and get this pen. Now, she don't know how to keep it hidden from me, but this was her goal the entire time, guys. The entire time. Even though she came up here with a bone that she was supposed to have. Anyway, that's what we deal with this little girl. Usually if she gets something she knows she's not supposed to have, she can't contain herself. She will trot, and that's how I know she's got something in her mouth. And I spend half my time, taking things out of her mouth. So anyway, I will get a wipe my hands. She will come over here because she hears this rustling, and think that I'm got a snack or something, and it's not a snack, Bella. And this wipe is not for you, Bella. But anyway, nope, get your bone. Get your bone. Nope, Bella. She thinks I'm playing, guys. She thinks that I'm playing a game, and she wants to try and get this. And she's going to dive, but I'm going to put it over here. Okay, see? It's gone. It's not the game that you were hoping for. Go back to your bone. Anyway, so I've been working on lots of things, but I have not made any amigurumi. And I want to make, I think it's MJ's Off the Hook Crochet. Everybody has been making her pumpkin, her granny square pumpkin. And if you watch Classy Handmade, Shondell, she did sort of a twist on it so that you could close it up and you won't have the hole. So I'm actually going to try and do one of those in her method. One or two of those. The craft fair that I was preparing for is next week. Anyway, so I've got to really start pulling things out and seeing what I have. I've got to go to the storage at some point and get my table, which I probably should do this weekend because the thing is next Saturday. So truly, I probably need to go and do that. This dog, y'all. Hold on. I'll be right back. Oh, she found something. She can chew on safely. So hopefully she'll be fine. Anyway, so I wanted to kind of round this vlog out and likely just end it. But I didn't really have a project. So I decided to add on this little crochet and chat. And I have been working on this scrappy granny square blanket. And I've been working on it on and off for like probably 2 years, maybe a year. maybe a year, a little more, maybe 18 months, something like that. But what I want to do, because I got inspired by Pam from Pamela's Knit and Crochet and Knit Corner. Hey, Pam. We are going to be going to the Southern California Fiber Festival coming up in November. And last year, as well as this year, Warm Up America will be there collecting donations. And Pam, if you saw her seasonal yarn on YouTube Hop 2024 fall edition projects, one of them was the C2C blanket that she's going to donate to Warm Up America. So I reached out to her and I was like, are they going to be at the Southern California Fiber Festival again? And she said, yes. And then I remembered that I had this sitting around. And honestly, I could end it off. It's really, really big. I could go ahead and end it off, but I'm going to put like at least a couple more rounds on it. And then have it ready for donation. I'll wash it and have it ready for donation. But yeah, so I just have this big basket full of partial balls, and this is one that I think this is that Hirschner's. It's the sports team colorway. I think this one was like a Dallas or Steelers. I don't know. Anyway, it's black, white, gray. Not black, white, gray. Blue, white, gray in the colorway. And I think I tried to use this in my knitting machine and it did not go well. I don't know if I tried it or not. Because I was sitting here looking like I should try this in the knitting machine. But what I'm going to do is put at least one round of this color onto this blanket. And yeah, I'm gonna try to put in like maybe 3 or 4 more colors, and I'm gonna end this off and donate this blanket for that, because we all brought donations last year, and I had hats, I had ear warmers, I had cows and scarves, not a lot of each, but I did have multiple things, and then I had one blanket. I had like a little C2C baby blanket size blanket. And so what I want to do is I want to have this blanket to go ahead and donate to Warm Up America. So I figured, since I didn't do a lot on my Amis, I'm going to go ahead and do a little crochet and chat and talk to y'all here today. Yeah, so, and end out this vlog this way. So, anyway, what has been going on? Well, I definitely have been reading, and you know, is it Kay, the crazy sock lady? She always talks about, you know, what she's been watching, what she's been reading, and a lot of other people do too. So I figure I will share that with you. Now, you guys know that we are doing over on Steve's channel, we have Thompson's Reading BookTube series going on over there. Please come over there and join us and comment and interact with us over there. We are really trying to get that channel and get comfortable with doing the podcast with one another. And yeah, we're gonna have a giveaway. We're trying to grow Steve's channel, and yeah, so going over there for that. But not everybody wants to hear everything about the book, and I'm trying to find my way of being able to really comfortably do that. And not give away the book, because you kind of want to talk about what you're reading without giving it away. You just want to give enough. You don't want to spoil it for anybody else. You want to give enough to make people want to read the book without telling the whole story, and sometimes that's difficult. So anyway, for the month of the last part of September and into the end of October, I am reading thrillers and mysteries, and it's kind of, excuse me guys, oh my god, hold on one second, hold on. So it's spooky season, right? And so people are, you know, everybody's reading, or it's fall. I'm trying to get fall vibes as much as I can, but man, it's not easy to get them here. But I plan to, if I can, do a little baking this weekend. And let's see, if I had planned to do that last weekend and it didn't work out. So, you know, let's see if it works out this time, guys. I just want to bake some cookies for the family and that kind of thing. But anyway, so yeah, I'm reading thrillers. I just read this thriller, and it's called One of Us Knows. And guys, it's by an author named Alyssa Cole. And in general, the book is basically I don't know. I don't really know the how to explain or differentiate between mysteries and thrillers. This one was a little bit of both, because it was basically the main character has they don't call it this anymore, so I apologize. Let me see what they call it so I can say it right. Hold on, guys. I thought that the premise of this book was so unique. I didn't necessarily think this was a great book. So it's called Dissociative Identity Disorder, or DID. It used to just be called split personality disorder, but basically this main character had DID, which meant that she had several different selves that lived within her. And her personality had basically splintered because of trauma. Now, I'm old enough to have watched the movie Sybil, and I also read the book. So Sybil was probably the very first time I had ever even heard of this condition. It was a book, I believe, if I got it straight, it was based on a true story. And I should look that up because I might have that wrong. But Sally Field played Sybil. You coming up here? I think she's coming up here. Hold on one second. So Sally Field played Sybil. And I think, I don't know if she won an award for that role, but she should have. She did such a fantastic job of portraying each different personality. But it's one of those movies that I used to be like this. If I see an actor, the first time that I experience an actor and they're playing a bad character, I really lose my desires. I can't watch them in anything else. And so in the movie Sybil, basically she was traumatized by her mother. And the lady who played her mother, I mean, it's not like the lady was in a ton of movies, but she was in other stuff. I could not stand to watch that lady. She did a good job in that role because she convinced me, and I never wanted to see her in anything else. But anyway, I digress. The book was great, and the movie was great. And I think we have a better understanding of the condition now than we did back then, because that was in like the 70s or 80s that they made that. Anyway, this book is the main character has DID. So the title One of Us Knows means that something happened in the past, which was their trauma, which was the main character's trauma, which made her split off, and only one of the personalities, one of the what they call headmates in the book, knows what happens. She doesn't. The host, the main person, doesn't know. And the whole thing is trying to get her to that point to figure out what's going on. And so the main character's there, but all of the other headmates are also characters in the book. And she's 37. But one of the headmates is 65. One is 4 years old. One is a 16-year-old. One is 27-year-old. the main character is African American, and most of her selves are too, but one of them is not. One of them is white. Two of her headmates are male. So yeah, it's quite an interesting premise. I think that it's something very different, nothing I had ever heard before. However, I I didn't necessarily enjoy the writing, but I thought the actual premise was genius. This dog did it again. She acted like she was gonna come up here and be a good girl and chew what she's supposed to be chewing, but she over there exploring, trying to find and get into things that she's not supposed to. Oh my goodness. So anyway, guys, this might be like ill-advised to even be trying to do this. Steve and Jordan are not at home. Jordan had our church has a Friday night devotionals for our teens, and we actually don't. The vast majority of actually, let me just say this: our teens are fellowshipping with another group of teens from a different part of our church, and it's a good drive away from here. And usually the parents will take turns, but Jordan is the only one who wanted to go. So Steve went ahead and drove him out to this event. So I'm here by myself. And in fact, I just got a text about where the kids are supposed to be being dropped off at tonight. So yeah, I'm home alone, and therefore Bella is right here with me, and you can see her little fur kind of like right there. That's her butt. And you might even hear her chewing. Anyway, that's it. I'm just rambling. They are gone. So I thought, I could do a little crochet and chat. The house is quiet. So yeah, here I am. So that's the one book. Let me go back. I'm digressing. So, but yeah, I'm thinking it might be ill-advised just because Bella, she needs just as much attention as a toddler. And I'm over here trying to talk to y'all. So we'll see. That's why I keep having to pause. But anyway, she should start to wind down because it's Friday night. And she's had several walks, a lot of excitement. I've been playing with her a lot. And we'll see. Anyway, she's good right now. So that's one book. And once I finished that one, I went right into this one. And this one is called The Night She Disappeared. And it's by Lisa Jewell. And let me just read it. It's a beautiful summer night in a charming English suburb when 19-year-old Tallulah and Zach disappear after partying at the massive country estate of a new college friend. 1 year after the case runs cold, a writer moves into a cottage on the edge of the woods that border the same estate where the couple disappeared. Known locally as the dark place, the dense forest is her favorite area for long walks. And it's on one such stroll that she stumbles upon a mysterious note that simply reads, "Dig here." Could this be a clue to the young couple's disappearance? And what exactly is buried in this haunted ground? So that's basically what happens. Tallulah and Zach are the young couple. They are 19 years old. They are parents. She got pregnant, and they are trying to make it work. And one night, Tallulah's mom agrees to watch the baby so that they can have a night out. So they go out to the pub, and they were never seen again. And so this whole story is like unfolding, and it's unfolding in 3 different times. So there's one point of view where it's Tallulah before, right after she had the baby, when she first starts college, and so that's that. You see that part of it. The baby's born. You see the development of the relationship between the two parents, and you see what's going on there. Then the other point of view is after they've gone missing, and Tallulah's mother doing everything she can, raising all the alarm bells so that an investigation will start and complete and find her daughter and her, her boyfriend. And then there is the point of view of a year later, and this is from the writer who moved into the area a year later and stumbles across this mystery. And so when I tell you I started this book yesterday, and I am on page, let me see. 155. I am not that fast of a reader. It's just that good of a book. And I took the day off too. I had to go to the dentist. Y'all know, I told you before, dental issues up the wazoo, and I can't even process right now what I need to process to get ready to do all the things that I need to do to get my dental health in order. But anyway, guys, so yeah, I read a lot today. I did my dental appointment, went to the store, came back, and played with Bella, and tried to take her for a walk and all that stuff. But for the most part, I've been reading. I did not start crafting until now, and right now I still want to go back and keep reading this book until Steve and Jordan get home, because I think Bella is winding down. So I'm probably gonna just be quiet here and take advantage of the quiet. Take advantage of the opportunity to be able to focus on this book. But I did want to put at least one round on here. So I'll probably watch some podcasts and get around this blanket with this colorway. So you can see, I mean, there's no rhyme nor reason to this blanket. It's just really trying to use up the yarns. And so I even found in this bucket that I have all the scraps in some of the colors that I'm going to use for the book blanket granny squares, and that will be coming up. Anyway, I think that's going to be it. That's going to be all for this. Oh, I'm reading one more book, and I'm reading it on my Kindle, and I want to show you guys my Kindle. So this is my Kindle, and I am reading this book called, because I just Googled, like, under Kindle Unlimited, I sort of was looking for a Kindle Unlimited book, which means I have a subscription, and what comes with that is a whole bunch of free books. I don't even know how much we pay every month, but it started out at something like $5.99 or $6.99. I'm sure it's way more than that by now. But I'm reading this book called Fall I Want, and it is a romance, and it is set during the fall season. So I wanted to have something super fallish, and so I am reading that on my Kindle Paperwhite. And I want to show you that I have decorated the back of my Kindle as well with some bookish stickers. And of course, these are my BTS boys. I have, there's an artist on Etsy who made stickers for all of them. Each time one of them went into the military, she made stickers to represent them. This is J-Hope, this is RM, and this is JK. These are their cartoon characters, but she made them like that. It was so cool. And so I had them on there, and then I got these bookish stickers. So I continued on with the decorating. And yeah, so just wanted to show you my Kindle. So I am currently reading a physical book, reading a book on Kindle, and tomorrow, because I'm driving out to my friend's house, I am going to also start a new audiobook, which I am getting from Kindle Unlimited. I have had Kindle Unlimited forever. We have it. And Steve uses it, but I never did. And then I discovered that some of them come with the audio. So I've been eating them up. And when we do our next episode of Thompson's Reading, I'm going to highlight a few of these. I think what I'm going to be talking about is a couple of my, well, I guess I'll be ready to do a September wrap up for what I read this month. And then I might highlight a couple of these Kindle Unlimited authors who I have thoroughly enjoyed. I know I will do that. So anyway, I think that's it. That's all for this crochet and chat, and that's going to be all for this this weekly vlog, which has been being filmed for about 2 weeks. Anyway, guys, talk back soon. See you in the next video. Till we meet again, keep it crafty. Bye.